Voila. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Planted LLC. We are live. I'm gonna be quiet. You know why? Because I got a new beat, and it's hot. Thank you, Mr. Al Felton. So we're just gonna let that ride a little bit. Welcome, everybody. Happy Tuesday evening. Come on now. Y'all got to vibe with me. You know this beat is all the way live. It is all the way live. So we're just going to let it run. Because it's awesome. It's awesome. Hello. I'm on Instagram too. I got to say hi to my Instagram family while we vibe a little bit. Y'all know how I do. Hey. Y'all don't make me talk about my seat. That kind of stuff. I promise you. All right. Welcome, everyone, to Feet Planted LLC. I am live. My name is Karen Mayfield Felton. I'm the owner, and I am so happy to be here. I have missed you. I have missed all of you. But guess what? I am not alone. I am with my little bit assistant. Her name is Jocelyn Coleman. And if you want to learn more about her, I need you to go and watch my last Women's History Month segment. She was phenomenal. I'm very proud of her. So we're going to get started and talk about a couple of things, but I want to know how you all are doing. I want to know what's been going on. What have you all been doing for the last month? Living life, enjoying it, waiting for spring to get here or leave. I'm not sure which one, but I have missed you all. So this is my opportunity to wave at my friends and to say that I am so happy to be here to have this conversation this evening. So first and foremost, Feet Planted LLC is a company that I started because I'm a STEM professional. So if you don't know anything about me, 20 plus years, I'm a chemical engineer by education. I've had a variety of jobs and opportunities. And I was able to establish this community because I want to help early career professionals succeed in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, as well as life. And because we take ourselves everywhere we go, we don't always talk about science and technology on this platform. We talk about life stuff. And so that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So if you want to know any more than what I just told you, I need you to do a couple things. And I'm going to put this up. You can go to www.feetplantedllc.com, learn more about what we do here. If you have questions and are interested in reaching out to me, you can also email me. I'll leave this up and then I'll put it back up later on in this segment. But this is who I am. I'm just glancing over here because I have Instagram to my left, probably your right, and I have the rest of my friends forward, the green button as I like to call it. Hey, y'all, how y'all doing? So this is Let's Talk About Perseverance. So that is what we are talking about tonight. Before we get into the topic, though, I'm going to turn here and just ask my friend, do you have anything to say to the people?
It's going to be a great one. This is going to be a good segment tonight.
That's
all I have to say.
You always have to have positivity in your ear and in the room with you. So we are going to have a great segment tonight. I feel it in my bones. So now that we've gotten all the pleasantries out of the way, please post your questions in the chat. If you are listening and watching and joining us live, thank you so very much for taking time out of your schedule. You can actually post questions in the chat, in the comments on Instagram, and we will see those. And you can also post them on the other platforms. If you have something to add or contribute, I would love to share that. I vibe off of your wisdom and your experiences as well. So I look forward to hearing what you have to say. So the month of March, just to recap, has been so beneficial for me. If you did not tune in, I need you to find YouTube and type in Feet Planted LLC and go to my live, and there will be 9 women that you can listen to and hear their story and learn so much about them and how they have basically been killing it in the game in STEM and how they have been leading with courage. That was the theme. What's important about themes is that Feet Planted LLC has and believes in character traits. Again, we take ourselves with us everywhere we go. And the quarter two, because April is quarter two, even though we're at the end of the month, quarter two, we are talking about perseverance. And so that is the theme as soon as I can put it up. Because you know what, y'all? There we go. Let's talk about perseverance. Perseverance. Okay. I don't know about you, but I work today. So my mouth and my tongue are not in sync, but you're going to always get the real with me. So let's talk about perseverance. I got to sound it out. Let's see. Just stopping in to say hi. Keep doing what you're doing. I definitely will. I love doing this. I love getting feedback from you all, and I love hearing about your story. So thank you for the encouragement. So I talked about March, Women's History Month, and I want to actually share with you some thoughts about perseverance. So, what does it mean to persevere? Hi, Savannah 912. I'm here with you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for being here and joining us. Yes, come on in. Talk to me. Talk to me. I love it. I love it. Perseverance. So, as I was saying, because I go all over the place, y'all, just bear with a sister. Um, there are character traits. First quarter was about courage. Quarter two is going to be about perseverance, how we persist, how we keep going in the face of foolery, in the face of tough circumstances, despite opposition, despite challenges, we persevere. It's the analogy of kind of walking and trudging through mud. It's hard, and yet you pick up one foot and you put it down, and you pick up another foot and you put it down, and the next thing you know, you've made movement. And so I want to talk about why it's important to persevere. If you know anything about me, you probably know that I'm not a news watcher. And I haven't been watching the news because sometimes it makes me not stay focused. But if you have, you know that there's been a lot going on in the world. A lot of sad things are happening. We're still in what I think some people would consider maybe a recession. Folks are in different phases of life. And so if you're out there and you happen to be watching this and you find yourself in a place where it's hard to put one foot in front of the other, it's hard to make decisions. Life just can be weighing heavy on you right now. I want to let you know that you're not alone. And this topic is hopefully going to resonate with you and help you move to the next place. So, one of the things that I wanted to talk about is that there's so many synonyms like words to perseverance. We've got persistence, we've got being steadfast, and we've got being able to achieve and move forward in spite of all those things. And it's extremely important that we develop that muscle. So, for Women's History Month, I talked about how courage is not just something you put on and take off, and neither is perseverance. One of the things that we're going to talk about first is that perseverance is learned. It is a learned skill. And how do we learn perseverance? We learn it by getting knocked down. We learn it by continuing to get back up again and facing obstacles. And we don't always have to do that perfectly. If you are like me, I'm an analytical person. Again, I've already told you I'm an engineer by education. I overthink everything. I overthink things to the 10th power. And so when I trip up or when something happens that I'm not expecting, it takes me a minute to get my footing, especially depending on what that thing is. And I think that I don't think that that's unique to all of us. It takes us time to get back into the swing of things. But when we do, there's a decision point. And that decision point is, now that I've gotten my footing, what do I do now? Do I move forward? Do I assess? Do I, what is it that I do now? And I'm here to tell you that when we persevere, You don't have to have the exact answer. You do need to act, though. I'm going to quote somebody very wise. I'm looking over here at her, y'all. She said her definition of courage is doing it scared. And it's very similar to perseverance, is doing it when you don't know how. It's figuring it out along the way. And then when you latch on to a process, a thought, or an action that actually bolsters your confidence, it gives you the strength and the fortitude to move forward. Then you collect data from that, you take stock of where you are, and then you step and repeat. At least that's how perseverance works for me. So I'm going to ask you all a question. How do you persevere? Because this isn't just me. I am my own personality. I have a different set of experiences, and my background may be different from you. And I like learning from you all too. How do we persevere? I'm going to throw this back up. Savannah said, facing your fears. Absolutely. It's going to require you to actually get real with yourself. Perseverance requires some semblance of reality, and it can be applicable to any situation. You don't have to have a certain job or a certain skill. You don't have to be a certain age. The sooner we learn to adopt habits that lend itself to persevering, the better. And while I wait for comments to come in, I'll just share this with you. I was reading today about, the benefits of persevering. And one of the benefits is that it's something that you can learn at a young age. You don't have to wait to get to be my age to learn how to persevere. And it's something as simple as learning how to get back up again. I'm going to pause for a second because I keep up with my Instagram folks. Danita, working hard to overcome obstacles. Absolutely true. Working hard to overcome obstacles. And I like the way you said hard, because I'll be honest with you, you can fake perseverance. Did y'all realize that you can fake anything? Working hard requires commitment, and it requires an action. You've seen people go through the motions and try to kind of like say, yeah, I'm doing it, but there's no action, there's no traction. It's just like what was that dance? Hammer, don't hurt him, the Running Man. That brother was moving his legs furiously, but going nowhere, right? He was just going side to side. And sometimes when we don't work at it, that's what it looks like. It looks like MC Hammer doing the don't hurt him dance. So I am trying to pull up another comment. I do it by remembering my why. All right now. Come on with wisdom, Savannah. Anna. Anna. Okay. Do I know you? Let's see. I think I do. Doesn't matter. I appreciate you. I do it by remembering my why. So I like to unpack some of the comments that are coming through. When we persevere, you need a reason to keep going. If for nothing else, if I'm stuck here, I may be hurting. Like if I stay where I'm at, I may actually cause harm to myself. If I stay in this job, if I don't move on from this relationship or this friendship, this could be harmful for me. You have to understand why you're doing what you're doing. Let's see. It's hard to stay the course when you get discouraged. This is Danita. Thank you, Danita. See, my friends are wise. You know why? I surround myself by wise friends because I have knucklehead tendencies. I am accomplished. I am very blessed. But as long as I'm breathing, I have the ability to revert back to my knucklehead tendencies. I surround myself by smart people. And that is 100% true. I'll give you a perfect example that goes with Danita's comment. For those of you that are like, who's Danita? I don't see her. She's on Instagram. Sorry, you got to go on Instagram to see some of these comments. When we get discouraged, we actually don't. It keeps us still, and it doesn't. It could cause you to just really, not be able to move because one, you're just trying to figure out, how did I get here? It could be the loss of a job. It could be any disappointment, and it doesn't have to be big or small. Sometimes it could be, I should have gotten on Easy Pass and now I got to sit in traffic for 15 minutes before the next exit comes. It could be as simple as that. But it causes you to kind of stand still. And if we're not in practice with understanding our why and asking ourselves in the moment what matters most, then we won't ever move forward. I'm going to pull up some of these comments. Good evening, my beautiful sister. This is my sister Frida. Her name is Alfreda. You have to be her friend to call her Retha. Hi there. How are you, my sister? And then let's see. Savannah is telling us who she is. MS Marine Corps Sisters Man STEM. Ah, yes. Love the conversation. I knew that was you. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So all of the comments that you're making and all of the feedback that's coming in is important. So I'm gonna take a pause because I don't want you to just hear me yapping and yapping, and we're not gonna be here all night. I promise you that. Gotta get early in these streets. So I'm gonna turn here. I told her I was gonna do this. Even though you can't see her, you've already seen her. She's gonna be talking to me. I said, be prepared to tell me what perseverance means to you and why it's important. Go.
So perseverance is really important, really, really important because you are going to have, kind of like Danita said, you're going to have things that knock you down, things that discourage you, right? But are you going to let that define you? Are you going to let that determine who you're meant to be, determine your future for you? Or are you going to push through and see what's on the other side of this bad situation? Because at the end of the day, you got to go to sleep and you're going to wake up again. The sun's going to go down, it's going to keep coming back up. So if you're in a
Yes.
bad situation, there is hope that tomorrow, through perseverance, will be better. And if you are having a good day, the next day, if you persevere, will be better.
That's
Could
what
be
I'm
better.
talking about. That's what I'm talking. Let the
So,
church say amen.
amen. And amen again.
And amen again. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love things a lot, so just get used to that. I say that all the time. But in terms of the career fields and the jobs that we have and the responsibilities that we have, I don't take it lightly that what we're talking about is easy to do. It's not, and depending on the day, depending on I'll just put this up here. Alfreda said, "Amen." Depending on what's happening, it may be a challenge for you to move to the next step. I will make it more applicable, I think, to maybe the workforce and early career professionals. What I've seen in my work life is that we start off with this energy. We start off with excitement. We start off with expectations. We go into a situation, a job, a relationship, some context. You can pick a thing, and we're like ready. We're ready to receive all the goodness, all the newness, and embrace it and use it to propel us forward. And then life happens, and then we have to regroup. And so speaking to my early career professionals out there, perseverance is critical to your ability to bounce back. I call it the bounce back, being able to um, get bad news or have your expectations not met and be able to, in real time, course correct your thinking. Those are muscles that I really want all of us, but especially my early career professionals to learn how to use. And I'm going to say this, being a little more seasoned, sometimes it's going to require you to do something that you've never done before. It's going to require you to maybe not leave the situation, but endure. That's the on the other end of perseverance is that sometimes it's not physically moving away from the pain, away from the difficult conversation, away from the difficult person, the job, the relationship. Sometimes you're going to have to endure and learn how to use some of those muscles in the midst of your struggle. So if you can identify with what I'm saying, please let me know. And please also feel free to share how you persevere. So I am moving my mouse because I'm looking to try to put up a different banner, but you know what? It's okay. It's not working for me, and that's quite all right. We're just gonna leave an amen up in here. I'm gonna turn to Instagram just to see how folks are doing. I'm going to wave because I don't know who's out there. But I really do appreciate all of the comments and all of the feedback. And just a reminder, if you have questions that you would like to pose to us, please post them in the chat. We'll be more than happy to answer them. While I wait for additional comments to come in, I do have another point that I want to make. There is no such thing as an overnight success. We are a microwave generation. And I tell you, um, baby boomers didn't do us a lot of favors. We want things and daggone it, we want them right now. I want that promotion now. I want that relationship now. I want that good experience now. Excuse me. And why do I have to wait for it? It's going to take some time. And that's the wonderful thing about perseverance, is because it allows you to take stock in your situation. It allows you to learn from the lesson. First of all, you have to go through it to learn it. And that's a whole nother conversation in itself, but it's not quick. It could take a full season. It could take years. And honestly, that depends on you. That depends on how much of the lesson that you're learning, and how once you learn it, you apply it so that you can then say, aha, this is what I need to do, or aha, this is what I learned from this moment, this circumstance, and then it propels me forward. So it's not going to happen overnight. Sorry to tell you, talking to the green button again, it's going to take some time. Time is a good thing. It allows you to grow. Absolutely. If you know anything about me, I love plants. I'm sandwiched between two sisters that can grow anything. I do mean that. They can absolutely grow anything. And so I learned a thing or two. And I have taken care of all of my plants. I talk to them. I water them at the prescribed schedule, depending on the type of plant it is. And I can honestly say that over time, I can see the growth. And you notice I've done something. I've actually had to take an action to water, to give it what it needs and put it in the environment that is best for the plant. Not every plant needs to be in the sun. Not every plant needs to be watered at a certain frequency. Some of them don't like to be drowned, but that's a whole nother story. Um, some plants actually thrive better when they're dry. And so, what am I saying? Well, message. What I'm saying is that you need to make sure that in your season or trial, whatever is causing you heartburn, sadness, confusion, that you need to take stock in where you are so that you can appropriately water your situation. Sometimes your situation needs to go outside and just sit dry out, so that the impurities that's in the soil, so that it can just dry out, get all of that stuff out, filter it out. So my botany, my plant folks out there, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. And then when it's completely dry and the plant is looking to receive sustenance and water and light, when you provide it, it's going to soak it up. Some of us are just not ready to receive. We're not teachable. We're not coachable. You can't tell us nothing. And then when you do tell us, we get an attitude, and that has everything to do with where we are in that moment, our mindset, our personalities in some circumstances. And I'm talking to myself too. My husband is somewhere out there watching, and he'll be the first to tell you, I could tell Karen that all day. And they'll be like, yeah, sure. But somebody else can come by and say it, and it'll be like, oh, I receive it. So we have to take stock in some of these things. With time comes knowledge. Sometimes perseverance means you have to let go of things that are causing you to not thrive. Mm,
That's a good one.
message.
That's a good one.
Message. Okay.
That's good.
So I'm just going to spill some tea. If you go back and watch all of my lives, you will notice that there's a person that I call Danita. Her name is Danita, and she's out there. She is the HR professional. She's one of the baddies in my tribe, full of knowledge. I'm going to give you a surprise. You're going to see her next month. And so, for those folks on Instagram, if you need wisdom, Her name is Danita Anson. Find her, talk to her. But that is absolutely, absolutely true. Is that we need to sort of let go of things. And if you're just joining me and you're new to Feet Planted LLC, and you're like, wait a minute, I thought she was a STEM professional. Why is she having an Oprah Winfrey, chat session about perseverance and life stuff? Well, the reason that I'm doing that is because I know that these are life skills that we need. And so we're dropping some knowledge that is applicable to you wherever you take yourself. So that's why we're talking about it. So I appreciate that 100%. Okay. I am going to take a pause for the cause, and I'm going to try to put up another banner and put my name up here, just seeing if there are any more comments, and there's not. So I also have another point that I want to make. I love working in threes. Is that if at first you don't succeed, try again. Wait a minute, that's a song, isn't it? When she don't succeed, pick stuff up and try again. Okay, y'all just okay. She took it a little extra too far. But that is quite all right. Yeah, it's that kind of show. It really is that kind of time. We are transparently silly, and it's for a good reason. But if at first you don't succeed, try again. When you get knocked down or when something doesn't work, you can't just throw the baby out with the bathwater. Sometimes you have to repurpose it. You have to find a different way. And one of the things that I love about failure and learning lessons is that it trains us to think differently. And again, when you come up against an obstacle or you face a challenge, keep trying. I mean, that's part of persevering. And it can be something as simple as um talking to different people, getting training. It could be changing your schedule. It could be introducing yourself to a new environment, or just mixing it up with your friend group, or obviously there's countless other opportunities on how you can try again. But that is the root of perseverance. It's understanding that, okay, this way didn't work, and so I'm going to try it again that way. So everything that we're saying, folks, is common sense. There's nothing that has been said, talking to the green button. There's nothing that has been said here tonight that is earth shattering. Why are we saying it? Because there's somebody out there that may be watching us live and that may watch this later and may be in a moment where they say, I'm tired. There's just like, you know what? I just lost my job, or this thing just happened to me at work. We all get to a point where it's hard to move forward. It's hard to try again. It's hard to learn that lesson. It's hard to admit when we are part of the reason that things aren't working. And so, if that happens to be where you are, first and foremost, you are not alone. All of us have been in those moments. It is how you handle those moments and how you use the perseverance muscles. I'm a chemical engineer by education. I believe in processes. And so when I face an obstacle, or when life hits me hard, because it has, I actually am the type of person that has to just sit for a minute. I either do two things. I sit and literally have to say, wait a minute, I was standing and now I'm flat. How did I get here? I got to take a moment to just understand what just happened. Or I am so gung ho to return the hit back that I proceed forward, like a bull in a china shop. Sometimes that doesn't work either. But my point is that all of us have different ways that we respond to life coming at us fast. And so it's important to think about how you are handling what happens to you, whether it's on your job, whether it's in a relationship, and start to take notice of that now, because you're needed. Like, we need all of you. We need you to show up. We need you to be present. We need you not to rush back to being whole, and we definitely don't need you to fake it. So if you are in a moment and you need to take a beat, take a beat. If you find yourself overwhelmed and you just need to retreat, I need you to retreat. I hope that you tell somebody that you're retreating so folks don't don't call the law because they don't see you. But whatever it is that you have to do, I need you to do it, and I need you to be purposeful about it. It's already been said, understand your why. And if you don't know the why, it's okay. Just take a minute and just breathe. I keep going back to the video that I posted on TikTok. You can't find it anymore because I jumped off of TikTok. But if you go to Facebook or Instagram, it was a video that I said, just breathe. Because even though I had my face paint on and I was smiling, my lips was all red, I had just had an embarrassing professional moment and I wanted to use some words. I wanted to say some things. I wanted to sound off in an email. And instead, I took a beat and I said, just breathe. And so I said, I need to tell people that. So, in the midst of your day to day, learn to breathe, take a moment. And as I have said before on this platform, and I'll continue to say it again, have a tribe, have somebody that you can call and sound off to that's going to recognize that you need a little bit of help. I have a code with a couple of folks professionally that when I'm at work, it doesn't matter what they're doing. When they get a text message from me that says 911, they know to pause. They know it's just like Karen is serious. So start to incorporate some language, some processes, some things that you can do to let people know that you need them because they're gonna surround you and help you persevere. So I'm looking at the comments real quick. Let's see. Fail. First attempt in learning. Girl, you can't be giving away all the good stuff.
I'm about to write that down.
Fail. Okay. Acronym. Um, I'm not gonna type this because all you're gonna hear is my nails tapping on the screen. But Ms. Danita Anderson said FAIL acronym stands for first, where'd it go? First attempt in learning. And I love that. I absolutely love that. I have a story that I want to tell you all. I started a job at the top of COVID at home, my first time ever as a program manager of a very visible, large DoD program. And I tell you, for the first month, I was just like, and I'm, again, full transparency. So for those of you that watch this later, that's okay. This is gonna land on somebody. I'm like, what am I doing? They made a mistake. Like, how can I tell them? Just kidding. Nope, I didn't mean to do this. You got the wrong person. And my husband will attest to this. He would be like, Karen, what's wrong? And it's just like, I am struggling. Like, I absolutely was like I went from coming into work every day knowing exactly what I needed to do, not just knowing it, but meeting and exceeding it, to I don't know what to say in meetings. I didn't know what it was. Well, I knew what was expected, but everyone on my team was somewhere else. And I'm responsible for a small team. I was responsible for contractors upwards to like 45 people. And I was just like, oh, wow. Okay, this is real. And so the reason that I say that is exactly what Danita put in: first attempt in learning. I had to take a beat and say, Karen, breathe, relax. This is the first time you've done this. You've never done it before. Don't come in expecting to have all the answers. Have grace, be graceful, have grace for yourself. Forget about COVID, but you are going to learn as you go. And for someone like me, and it's not that I'm always excelling at everything, that's not true, but I just didn't know how to handle the unknown. And that was my lesson. And Danita hit it right on the head. I had to understand that this was the first time that I had done this, that I was going to do this, and that I needed to go through the process. I needed to get things wrong. I needed to stumble in order for me to be exactly where I am right now. Exactly where I am right now. That opportunity allowed me to excel in areas that I just didn't think that I would professionally. So why am I telling you this? You may be out there, early career professional, mid-career professional, whatever situation you find yourself, and you're saying, what have I gotten myself into? And you're second guessing. You're telling yourself the story of, the self-doubt, like I did, I can't do this. I need you to persevere. First of all, I need you to stop. I need you to stop and recognize that none of us are where we are by accident. None of us are where we are by accident. I don't care if it's high profile, low profile. You are where you are supposed to be. And if it's the first time that you've done it, I need you to be kind to yourself. And I need you to understand that every day that you do it, you just picture a knife sharpening. Every opportunity, every email, every mistake, every conversation, every decision is a knife that is continuing to be sharpened until one day you're going to be ice cold cutting it up. You're going to actually do the thing. And I can say that out of personal experience. So we've got a comment here from Savannah. Build a network of support from family, friends, church coworkers, people who believe in your path, even if it's bumpy. High five to the green, but high five to you. Air high five. Absolutely. Part of the persevering process is when we persist and when we're steadfast, is that we don't do it in a vacuum. We don't do it alone. You see me call out people. You see, you're hearing some of the same names. I have. It takes a village, y'all. It takes a village to keep me grounded, to support not just what I do in my day-to-day life. I mean, I have a life, I have a family, I have job expectations now at this point. You have to build that network. So for those of you lone rangers out there that are probably going to say, I could do it, I don't need anybody, you're wrong. That's all I have to say. 2 words. It's actually 3, because it's one. The first one's a contraction. You're wrong. You absolutely need people. You need to start building that network. So if you are not sure how to do that, and if you are just starting a job, early career professionals, I'm talking to you again. I want you to go to www.feetplanted LLC, go to the services tab, and start looking through the services that Feet Planted offers. And you're going to see a document called Workplace 101. And it is a list of 4 bullets of what you should do 30, 60, and 90 days. And one of them is, they're all common sense things, but it's building that network, understanding how to make yourself available, how to step out of your comfort zone, how to meet people, how to really just let the world know that you're coming, that you're there, and how to do it in a professional way that allows you to build that network. Okay, what do we have? So I see laughter.
So you may have missed it. Danita said your code phrase with your professional network. Hers is man down.
Man down.
That's actually me and my people's code word. Code phrase too.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So what we're talking about now, if you're just joining us, I mentioned about maybe 5 minutes ago that it fits in with building your network, is that you need a group of people that understand when you're in distress, because part of perseverance, a lot of us go through a lot of things alone. I put in my post yesterday about this very live, is that some of us struggle in silence. Some of us are struggling and still, doing the smile. Again, I've won Academy Awards. You can't see my office, but I've got the actress of the year, because I've done those things. I'm talking about what I know. But you need people that can see through the smile, that can look at you in your eyes and say, I know you got to have that face on right now because of what's going on, but the signal is man down. I see you. I see that everything is not everything. And so I love that. Man down. Mine is 911. So if you have a signal for your friends, a text, well, actually, you may not want to tell everybody what it is, but if you want to share it, we would love to know, because I think that all tribe groups need need to know. If you just, again, to be fully transparent, I'm good at hiding things. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now that some of the advice that I'm giving you is advice that I wish that I have taken in my own personal life. But I can often be like a turtle when things are crashing around my head. A turtle has a hard exterior, and it sucks its head in, and all you have is the shell. The shell gets tossed and kicked, but sometimes I'm on the inside, just kind of moving along, bracing the hit. And that's just my personality. But if you have an opportunity to allow people in, don't be afraid, wherever you are, to just say, "Hey, can we talk?" Or be willing to kind of open up. And again, there's wisdom in that. You can't open up to everyone, but I will say that part of the perseverance process is that you can't keep moving and trudging along and still carry the baggage. There are no martyrdom awards for the person that's carrying the heaviest load. You don't get an extra cookie or a prize at the end of your journey for going through and just trudging it and taking all of the stuff. You got to let some of that go. And you have to be able to sort of shed some of the stuff. And one way to do that is to talk to people and let them know how you're feeling, what's going on. And I think that is just good wisdom. If you do not have that person in your life and you're watching this and you're like, that sounds all good, lady, with the glasses, having fun. But that just doesn't happen to be me. Like, I don't open up to people. Here's my email address. We don't have to call each other. If you need someone to bounce an idea or a thing, again, my caveat is that I'm not a therapist. That's not my vocation. I'm an engineer, program manager type. But I recognize that sometimes we just need someone to ask a question to. I will be more than happy to answer your question, or I can point you in a direction professionally, not clinically, but to someone who may be able to help you work through, especially the workplace stuff. Someone that can give you wise counsel. So I'm just going to let you know right off the top, some of the folks that have been chiming in. I'm going to throw her name up here, Alfreda Lanier, experienced worker for the government. I'm telling all your business. Sorry, not sorry. Danita Anderson, HR professional, extremely wise. There are folks here that I know. I'm not just selling wolf tickets. I actually know people that are quite gifted and skilled at what they do, that are wiser than me too. They've gone through a lot of different experiences. That's one of the things that I love about Feet Planted LLC, is that I don't have to be the smartest person in the room. And I've said this before: if you are the smartest person in the room, leave the room. I surround myself by people that know more than me, always. And I see my God is apparel. Kenya, I'm doing the wave. I'm doing the princess wave to my friend over there. She's another one that you're going to see soon next month, but that's okay. I'll save that to the end. I feel like I'm talking a lot. I'm looking at the time. Is there anything that you would like to add as we have this segment on Let's Talk About Perseverance? We've covered a lot of ground, but is there anything that strikes you that we need to mention? This is tea, y'all.
We were kind of hitting on it, but in talking about perseverance, like especially for entry, mid-level, mid
No, you're right. Good level.
level career professionals, like mental health also, and just how persevering, how that can weigh on our mental health, but also if we just persevere through what we're going through as well. Like, I don't know why, but that's just a big key thing that sticks out to me, especially for a lot of us in STEM or other areas,
where the stakes are high.
Yes. So just keeping that in mind as well.
Absolutely. Can I pair it? Because I want to.
Yeah.
I think I understand what you're saying, but let me know if I'm wrong. Sure. Mental health. When we persevere, it's not the same as you just gotta. Some people think that perseverance is just taking it all in and carrying it, and just making it across the finish line, even if you missing a toe, your eyes popped out, and your back is broke. Like you can persevere. That's a euphemism for maybe some of the mental health challenges that we all, not all of us, but some of us go through. You can cross the finish line whole. You absolutely can overcome whole and be able to manage some of the challenges that you have. Like I don't want people to walk away from this live thinking that they got to have it all figured out.
Not at all.
You do not. That's not what you said. But
Not at all.
when I
No.
think of perseverance as it relates to some of the challenges of mental health, I think about how people just think that they have to go through with the smile, that they have to martyr themselves, and you don't.
Right. And that's kind of where I was hitting it. Like,
That's what I
I don't
thought.
want people to think that they have to just keep going through and getting beat down, and that's not perseverance. Perseverance is, yes, you're going through to get to wherever you need to go, but recognizing that you have resources, you have people, you have
Yes,
all these different entities in your pocket that you can use as you are getting there and as you are persevering.
absolutely.
That's where I'm getting towards.
I love it. I
You do
love
have
it.
a question.
I do have a question. Can you read it for me?
I got you. So from Miss Danita Anderson, we have, you said you have a hard shell. Do you find that at your breaking point it's worse than someone who is open up more quickly?
Hmm. I think that is dependent on the situation and the person. I'll answer it this way. My hard shell has a lot to do with DNA, full transparency, some of it's pride, and also full transparency in the line of work that I have been in. I represent a whole gender and a whole race. People have made decisions about who they hire, whether or not opportunities will given, oftentimes based on my actions. That's a heavy load that I've had to shoulder. And so to be able to brace for the hit, I like close ranks. It's like, no, there's armor. Um, I wish that I could remember this movie, but there's a movie where this Marvel character pushes a button and immediately just armor just covers him. That's the hard exterior. And so it's not impenetrable, but it's quite hard to get through. And I believe your question is it worse than someone opening up too quickly? I really believe it depends on the situation. I recognize that about me, and I use wisdom and I use the benefit of experience to determine which path that I go. So, case in point, if you are the type of person that when you struggle, you're like, Mayday, 911, we got to talk about it. I need to get this off of me. I need to vent. I need to talk to somebody. I need to open up. And if that's what helps you, then I say go for it. The only thing that I'll add to that is I pray that your friends are wise. I pray that you're wise, and I hope that you're filtering that decision through the lens of what is going to be safe and helpful for you. Um, I will say, and this will be the last thing I'll add because I don't want to drag it out, is that what I've learned is that after I close ranks and understand how I feel, I am more apt to open back up, to seek guidance, to to ask for help. But that has only come with time. That's only come with time. So if you're a hard rock out there like me, because in my 30s, I was just like, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need you. I don't need any help. That's foolery. That's foolish. We all need help. So time is a good tester for that. Good question. Good question. Because we all persevere differently. And because you asked that question, I also want to add that it is helpful when you have community. I want us to have grace for people that persevere different from how you persevere. And the reason that I say that is because how I handle things doesn't look like how you handle things. And this is applicable again to the workplace, it's applicable to friend groups, it's applicable to wherever you find yourself. Acknowledge and understand that your capabilities, your personality, and how you get through that hard moment is not going to look like everybody else. And the reason that you're probably going through the challenge, the failure, the face plant, the mistake, the whatever it is because there's somebody just like you that's about to go through it and they need you to help them get through it. So stop trying to right size what the solution or the process looks like for other people. Acknowledge that it may be different. And the best way that you can serve them and yourselves is to understand that there are differences and have grace for people that do it their way because it's going to look different. Amen. Amen. Kenya, my God is apparel. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So I am going to throw this back up here. If you have questions or comments, please post them in the chat. I have one other thing to say about talking about perseverance is that, before I do that, I asked because, can you read it for me? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Danita's following up to her question. I asked because I say all the time that I am a closed novel. It's a defense mechanism. Oh, I feel that, girl. But I am learning to open up and share to grow.
That is awesome that you are recognizing that you're like that. And the only thing I'll say is that I didn't realize that I was like that. Somebody had to tell me that was my behavior. I was like, when you go through something, you completely you close ranks. I was like, no, I don't. And they're like, yes, you do. And I didn't realize that. And so there's vulnerability attached to how we let folks know that we're going through things. And just like dust yourself off and try again. You will go through life moments, whether it's again your career, your extracurricular activities, your friend group. You will go through things and you'll try to pick yourself back up and it won't work. And you'll go back to zero, and sometimes you go back even further, and then you'll try again and it may work. And so how you avail yourself and what you reveal about what you're going through can either have a good outcome or a bad outcome. The message is whatever it is, you're going to learn something from it. And however long it takes you to learn that and for you to adjust, is however long it takes. But just know that we're not here to serve ourselves. I'm not trying to get too preachy, I promise you, but it's just a fact. When we go through stuff, if you feel led to share it, it's probably because somebody needs to know how to get through it too. When we're vulnerable, we are able to connect with so many people. I used to worry about all of the content that you're seeing now. I tell you all a lot about me. Like I am more transparent in this season of my life than I have ever been. And the reason that I am is because I know my why, I know me, and I know that what I'm doing is on purpose. And if you use the information that we're sharing and talking about as a bad actor to hurt me, then that's just what you choose to do. I would like to think that the information and content that you know about me is actually benefiting someone and it's helping you. So I can't worry about what people are going to think about me at the end of the day because the checks that come to my house don't have your name on it. Facts. But I do this because I understand my why. Somebody actually said that at the beginning, know your why. And that's why I'm able to be as transparent. So throwing this up here too, Miss Alfreda Lanier said, very informative topic and makes you take a look at yourself and the way you move through everyday life. It absolutely does. Because we all face different challenges. And these topics, again, somebody's probably like, she ain't talking about STEM. She's what is she doing? Who does she think she is? I think that I'm somebody that has persevered. And just as much as we're laughing and kikiing and smiling and sharing, life happens. I may need to run this tape back tomorrow because I may go through something. I may have to listen to the wisdom of my friends that are chiming in to your wisdom so that I can get through the next moment. That's why. And it's applicable to any environment because you take yourself everywhere. You don't leave yourself in different places. And so I think it's very applicable. So we have any other comments? Hey DJ Aaron, how are you this evening, sir? So we've covered a lot of topics. I always love to do a recap. I always love to do a recap. What we talked about tonight is perseverance. I didn't necessarily define the word. I've used some synonyms: how we persist, how we work through challenges in spite of. Again, applicable to any situation, whether it's failure or opposition. And the reason that Feet Planted is talking about this, i.e., me, is because my company has 7 key characteristics. And every quarter, I am going to go live like I'm doing right now. I'm going to have an event that is focused on that characteristic because I think in the face of all the stuff that happens day to day, we need a little light and we need some encouragement. There's no overnight success, and perseverance can be learned if you're willing to learn it and if you're teachable. If you a hard rock, it's gonna take longer, but time softens rocks. Let's see. What does it say? I always support good friends. Yes, you do. That's another one. So I am also going to use this platform to actually do shameless plugs, not just for Feet Planted. They're not shameless. It's actually what we do. That's what we do here. But I also serve and champion and high five the things that my friends are doing. So coming up in May, so I'm going to take this off so you can have this up here to see. Coming up in May. So these are the events that are upcoming. We are going to have a mompreneur event, and it is going to be entitled The Power of Perseverance. And so you'll hear a little bit more about that. So I need you to stay tuned. You're going to hear from women who are mothers and who are entrepreneurs. And if I'm not correct, yeah, all of them have full-time jobs. So all of the things that we've been talking about, how we persevere, how we get through, for a mompreneur, life is just a little different. And I'm not saying that some of y'all are working hard, because I believe all of us work hard, right? But a mother, family, owner of businesses doing things, they're special. And I actually was raised by a woman who was an entrepreneur, so there's a special place in my heart for that. So stay tuned, because they're not just going to tell you how they persevere. They're going to talk about their businesses, and you'll be able to ask them questions. So I need you all to stay tuned. Instagram, I need you all to stay tuned. And in June, I'm not leaving the men out. So I got accused of only hyping up and bigging up women. I'm a champion of women and girls in STEM first and foremost, but there's room at the table for the men folk. Come on and pull up a chair. Father's Day in June, I will be highlighting a segment for a special person in my life, and we're actually going to dedicate some time to talk about the impact of that person as well as the impact of men in our communities and in our lives. So, men, I got something for you. I need y'all to come through. And then in July, so we're getting into quarter 3, I'm going to be showcasing, not showcasing, but I actually have a series called Show Up. I posted in 2021 an acronym of what it means to show up, and it's actually a training module for early career professionals on how to show up at work. And each letter stands for a behavior and a characteristic that's going to help you not just be seen, but appreciate who you are, show up, and do the darn thing. And I'm so excited about that. All right. I said, okay, men folk. This is a mess world. Why do I have James Brown in my voice when I read that? All right. So, everybody, it has been an absolute pleasure. I hate to leave y'all. I hate to leave y'all, but it has been a wonderful evening. I miss it when I don't engage, when we don't talk like this. Never mind the fact that you're hearing from a lot of my friends, folks that are very dear to me, but talking to the green button, if you're watching this at home and you're new to me, you're new to Feet Planted, you're important. How you feel, how you think is in this space is important. And if nobody else tells you that you're important, I'm going to tell you. And I want you to know how to persevere. I want you to know that you are capable of doing great and outstanding things. And if you're having a moment where you're not able to move and things just don't seem like they're going right, listen to some of the things that we've talked about and some of the tools and resources, and you can actually, I guarantee, if you just put one of the pieces of wisdom that you've heard from me or from the folks that have chimed in, just one, you're gonna see a difference in your life. I guarantee it. So y'all know what I'm about to do. What am I about to do, Jocelyn?
Play the music.
Uh, Thank you. Great segment. Thank you so much. Now, the person that procured this music, his name is Mr. Al Pelton. He is my partner in life, and he curates beats. Let me tell you something. I'm slightly biased. You can't listen to this and tell me you nod your head. You have been listening to Karen Mayfield Felton with Feet Planted LLC. It is always my pleasure to invite you into my world and for you to invite me into your world. I want to say thank you also to my little bit assistant. Y'all know that she's talking more, right? I'm not just going to let her sit here and look cute and play with the phone and Instagram. Thank you to my Instagram folks that are following me, that are chiming in. Hopefully this was helpful to you. Please share this with someone that you think can use some perseverance, that could use some encouragement. I see one more comment before we get out of here. There you go. Thank you, Savannah 912, for the discussion. Actually, they're two that they are singing. So stay tuned. You have to show up in June in order to find out. Again, have a wonderful evening. Persevere and know that you're not alone while you're doing it. Y'all be blessed. Have a good night.